Hello, passengers. Um, I'm in a flight today. As you can see, I'm not exactly in the cockpit right now, but I thought I'd take a little trip down the aisle to give you guys a good greeting. But there's a reason that I'm out here. Uh, there's currently a shortage of airline pilots, and Delta has asked me to give a presentation on why all of you, every single one, should become an airline pilot because there is a shortage. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to give you my life story in hopes of inspiring you that way. Oh, who's flying, you may ask? The penguins of Madagascar. Don't worry. They've got us. If you've seen Madagascar 2, you know they're great pilots. Um, what's that? You think that's a watermark in the background? You think I stole this from the internet? No. No, 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 no. First of all, this is your life. Second, it's dust. Dust is in your eyes, not a watermark. It's not. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not exactly facing you guys, but I don't know what I'm looking at, but whatever. There are passengers in front of me as well as behind me, so it works. And this, by the way, is a flight headset, not a gaming headset. Uh, so yeah, let's get started. Let's get started. So I'm going to be talking about my journey from 10 years ago to where I am today. Haven't aged a bit, by the way. Still look the same as I did 10 years ago, which is I'm not complaining about that. If I look down, by the way, I'm looking at the weather. It's not notes or anything like that. I'm just checking the weather to make sure no turbulence or anything like that. So let's start with finding my purpose. This all started 10 years ago in my new student experience class. And I found out that my purpose was to serve myself and others through comedy and thoughtfulness. I love making people laugh, and the exchange is mutual because if I make somebody laugh, then I feel pretty great as well. My purpose is connected to my values because I value relationships, and comedy is a great way to develop relationships with other people. My purpose is connected to my goals because, trust me, being a pilot, it definitely requires some thoughtfulness and awareness, and it also helps to serve the community, which is part of my purpose statement. My purpose statement is also connected to my interests because I have an interest in learning, and learning also requires thoughtfulness, and I had to learn all of these skills to become this pilot. My personal purpose statement informed me of my career goals by allowing me to weigh how different careers felt to me personally, and it helped me find what jobs align and fit in with my strengths and goals. So I'm glad I got to find my purpose through this new student experience class. Career pathway. Let's keep going with career pathway. I'm sure you all are very, very interested in how I actually got here. Yeah, I have to edit this. No, I have to edit. I have to do more work because of you now.
I literally crawled across the floor. No one can even see me.
Yes, they can. You're in the frame. That's my co-pilot. Checking the landing gear. I'm not. We'll see. I might edit that out.
Oh god.
Yeah. So career pathway. Sorry about that. Career pathway. I started with general studies at Valencia College, and that took me around 2 years. And I used Direct Connect to UCF, which is a great program. And I ended up doing the latter 2 years at UCF, and I got a degree in aeronautical engineering. And I used the Bright Futures Scholarship to pay for 75% of the tuition, which, yeah, it's a hefty fee taken off right there. So it was nice to be able to have that. At Valencia, for my first year, I started going to flight school because, the workload at Valencia is not too much for me to be able to handle both at the same time. So I thought I might as well do both at the same time. So I got my private pilot license after 5 months of starting training. And then I moved on to my instrument flight rating training, which took me around 6 months. And after I finished the IFR rating, I moved on to the commercial rating, which took me about 10 months. And after commercial, I finally started training in multi-engine commercial, and that took me about 7 months. So overall, it took me around 2.5 years from zero to hero, essentially. And I finished my flight training just as I was finishing my first year at UCF. So I ended up graduating UCF with the aeronautical engineering degree, and I also had the commercial multi-engine pilot license. So after that, I got a job at some lower-level airlines. You kind of have to work your way up, so I started at a lower-level, lesser-known airline. And after a few years, I worked my way up, and I was able to transfer to Delta Airlines, a pretty well-known airline. And I started as a first officer, and after a few more years, I worked my way up to co-pilot, which is where I am now. And I'm aspiring to become the captain one day. But that'll be a few years away from where I am today. But I do look forward to it. And the cost of going to Valencia and UCF together for me was $4,000 because of the Bright Futures, so it really wasn't too much money, which is great because I didn't have to take out any loans, and I didn't have to go into any debt to get my bachelor's degree. Flight school, on the other hand, oh man, not the same story. Flight school ended up in total costing me $60,000. Yeah, that's a pretty penny right there. But compared to the average college tuition in the United States, which is I think around $40,000 in total, it's $20,000 more, which is pretty hefty. But I did save on college, so I didn't have to. I essentially didn't really have to pay for college at all, and I could use the money I saved towards my flight school, my flight training, and the return on investment when you're a pilot is pretty great too, because the pay is pretty well. Not that that's what I'm doing it for, but you know, the $60,000 didn't really drag me down too much, and I was able to pay it off pretty quickly. And I love doing it too. I'm very interested, so I'm happy. It was worth it for me. All right. Now I'm almost finished with my presentation. You can go back to watching whatever movies you were watching, like Madagascar 2 maybe. Great one right there. So how did I pay for flight school? My parents ended up paying for most of it, and I did have to take out like a $10,000 loan near the end because after $50,000 they couldn't really pay for it. And I used the Valencia counselors to help me choose the right degree and the right pathway for me to become a pilot. And they did a great job. And I also used this new student experience class. Would you look at that? Not this class. The class that I'm talking about is 10 years ago in the past. That class helped me greatly. So there we go. I'm going to get back to the captain, not the captain seat. I'm going to get back to the co-pilot seat and take over for the Penguins. But thanks for listening. And remember, there's a shortage right now, so we need more pilots. Thank you.